We acknowledge and pay respect to the past, present, and future traditional custodians and elders of this nation and the continuation of cultural, spiritual, and educational practices of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people. Welcome, everyone. And I'm so sorry we are starting late, and it's already 7:42 here in Australia, and we were supposed to begin our lesson at 7:30. We are 12 minutes behind. That means you're missing out 12 minutes of your lesson. So try to be on time next time when we have our lesson, that is on Tuesday, and so that we don't miss any of our lesson time next. So our agenda this evening is we talked about grammatical and spelling punctuation errors in our last lesson. What we didn't do last lesson was to, talk about the podcast you're planning to make. I understand many of you have already completed the first few steps of how you make a podcast, and we are going to talk about it in a second. So let me share something else with you first, and then we will go back to this presentation. No, this is not it.
While you're finding it, Paramita, I'll just mention that it's so nice to see so many people here ready to learn and organized. So just make sure you're organized before you arrive on the platform. And I know some people are still learning how to get there, so that's okay.
Yeah, that's so true. Like, I don't know why it's happening. The podcast, the diagram I have, I'm not able to. I'm trying again. Wait.
We just saw it on your screen, Paramita.
You did?
As soon as you talk, it comes off. Yeah.
Mm.
There it is. I can see it.
Oh, that's
Can you
interesting.
see that you're sharing it, Paramita?
No, I can't see it, but
Yeah.
can you?
Yes. Yeah, we can see it.
Mm. Now you
I
don't.
think, yeah, I think it's your voice that's cutting it off the share screen.
Okay, let me.
So there it is. And it's an infographic, is that correct?
That's it. We will be, it's sometimes it will play with our. Can you see it now? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so still people are coming. That's fantastic. Now, I'm going to invite someone to tell us, just you will be reading one particular, like where do we begin? Look at the picture and think about it. Where do we begin? Um, any volunteers who would like to start this conversation? Who would like to start? Now, it says creating a podcast. And then, now for creating a podcast, we need equipment. Sometimes your phone is enough to record your voice, but it has also given us some options. Microphone. Who's going to read? I don't want to read. Any volunteers? Come on,
Can
girl.
I read, ma'am?
Yes, Nigarin, please do.
Should I read the equipment?
Yes, please.
Okay, creating a podcast, equipment, microphone, headphones, pop filter, quite free. Software, Audacity, free. GarageBand, Adobe Audition, Descript.
Thank you, Nigarin. Good reading. And girls, keep in mind, Audacity is a software that you can use for free. So all you have to do is download it. I was talking to a radio presenter last weekend, and I was asking her what she does, what software she uses. There are plenty software out there, but it's good to access something free, and also you will learn how to use it. Okay, so Audacity is one of those softwares. Now, I thought someone else was raising hand to read. Uh, who was that? Thank you, Mahbuba. Please read. Where do we begin? First thing we do, we know now the equipment we use usually to record the podcast. So, Mahbuba, look at the left side of the image of this,
Okay.
yeah, and read it.
Hello to everyone.
Hmm.
Hello, Chair. Sorry.
Go ahead.
The first thing, concept development. It's been choose a theme. Should I read the race?
Yes, please.
Okay. Define audience. Plan your audience. Mission statement. Episode length and tone.
Thank
Should I
you.
read the next one or no?
Thank you. Let's stop here. Girls, we did a lot of talking about. Thank you, Mahbuba. That was good reading. And any mistakes you see, girls? Last time we talked about spelling errors. I can see spelling error here. The audience, the correct spelling is the second one. It says plain your audience. Miss Lily, what is?
I'm not quite sure how you can plan your audience, but the first line as well, it is saying
Define.
define your audience. C.
Yeah,
It
audience
has
C.
double E.
Yeah, that's
It's good that it would be good if people in the class start to see these things and make note of them because that's a form of literacy. So I agree with what you're doing, Paramita. Thank you.
thank you. So, so
Infographics.
yes, and I downloaded because I thought it was really good. Like at a glance, you
Mm.
can see the steps, but there are quite a few. That's something we need to learn, girls. You see, even if we download something from the internet, there can be mistakes. So you have to be very, very careful when you're using online resources. You always have to check. But I was so busy this morning, and I really hear the spelling is wrong. The second spelling here, plain your audience, the second audience is correct, but the first audience got double E. It will be enough to use one E. And we don't plan our audience. We can think about who will be listening to your podcast. So if you're planning something, a very complex topic, that might be for a bit advanced students or some senior, or not for the kids, or you know. So you have to think about who might be interested in your podcast. Miss Lily, would you like to add to that if you have something else in mind?
Yeah, I've just I totally agree with what you said, and I think you need to scrutinize the words that you present to your audience, because sometimes, even though as Parameta has just said it looks fantastic and it really unpacks what we're trying to do to plan for a podcast. Yeah, make sure that your language that you present to your audience in your podcast is correct and accurate, and that all the information that you provide in planning and scripting is that you've cross-checked it, you've made sure that it's up to date, that it's relevant, that it's spelt clearly, and that you understand the words in your recording. You're clearly pronouncing those words. So the language and literacy is really important, especially in a podcast, because they're very powerful ways of communicating your ideas, and you lose that power if you don't have that editing in place. So Paramita, you're 100% right with that.
Thank you, Miss Lily. Yes, as Miss Lily said, you have to also you have to consider who will be your audience, because you are going to create your podcast to their level then. If just imagine if you're making a podcast for kids, so you have to communicate at their level, right? If you say something, use many jargons, difficult words, they might not be, they might not understand, and they will lose interest in your podcast. So when you're planning your podcast, you have to think, who is this
Mm,
podcast for? Hmm.
mm. That's a very important point. And I'll just add to that also is the age, the language you use, the cultural context, the culture that you're addressing, or the group of people within a culture. Those things are all very important things to consider, because you'll lose your audience if you've shown that you haven't considered them. Yeah.
Yes,
Mhm.
and so, as you said, the culture is important. If we are talking about something uh, completely irrelevant, people will lose interest. And maybe the girls might be interested in, uh, particularly maybe dresses. If your podcast is about costumes or clothes or fashion, particular fashion type, men may not like it. So you have to consider gender as well in your, um, when you are planning. So,
Absolutely. Mm.
yes, so that is also important. Another person has come now. This name is Adam Sama. Adam Sama is not a female, right? I'm just worried. Anyway, I'm not going to spend any time because lots of people are here and they have other commitments. So I'm just going to continue. So mission statement. Now, mission statement is where you are going to think about what is the purpose of your podcast. Sometimes it can be only entertainment. Just if you have funny stories that you're going to share in your podcast, that will be very entertaining. But then, if you want to, communicate something, word of wisdom, say you want your listeners to think about something, some deeper, insights or uh, yes. So that's something you have to write it down, the purpose of your podcast. It is not just, taking the microphone or taking your phone and recording a piece of text. Your podcast has to be um, planned properly before even you pick up your microphone and record yourself. So maybe say you're talking about, um, you're sharing stories or talking about fashion. You have to think of a few episodes. Okay, in episode 1, I'm going to talk about particular summer clothes, or maybe I'll talk about a virtue. Say, I'll talk about generosity or compassion or empathy. You have to make at least plan for 5 podcasts. And as we said, we don't want you to plan a very long podcast. Honestly, people don't have the time to listen to a very, very long talk. And therefore, try to plan something short and manageable. So, length of episode is very important. So, think about 5 episodes or 4 episodes of 5 minutes each. Miss Lily, would you like to say anything about this? Do you want to add something about this length and so?
Absolutely. I think you're right on target. This is a fantastic infographic in the sense that it gives you all the scaffolding to consider when you're planning your script. And your script should attend to how long your podcast will be, who your target audience is, what your purpose is, what is the gender that is listening to your podcast, what is your purpose, what are you trying to aim to achieve in communicating your podcast. There's some fantastic ways in which you can map that out using something like this infographics fantastic parameter. And I think everybody, maybe you can see it's color coded, and I think that's a really powerful way for you to plan using that color coding, if I'm making sense. So you can see all your planning side of things, your concept development, your audience, your planning script, and your episode outlines. And maybe the guests you're planning to come in are all in yellow colors, and your equipment that's required, the auditing and editing production, that's in a different color coding. It's a really good planning tool in that regard. If you can set your brainstorm up like Parameter has in your own infographic, use this infographic in this color coding, and you put your own dot points in. And I think it's a very good planning tool. I hope that makes sense, Parameter.
Yes, absolutely. And I'm thinking while you were sharing your, how its color coding is done here, and I was also thinking that the purpose, audience, think of those factors, because when we are going to mark your podcast, like you will be assessed by us and you will be assessed by your classmates. It's not only us, we will be assessing your work, and your peers will be assessing. At the same time, you will have a rubric, you will be given rubric to assess yourself. Self assessment, that's what we call. But before we go any further, I'm going to ask either Tamana, if you can help me, please. Is she here or she's gone?
Ma'am, she
Yes, she's here, Tamana, but Tamana's muted. Or Rana. Rana, welcome. I'm so pleased to see you here. Rana, can you please say it in your language? Rana, are you here? Can you say?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Lovely to see you here, Rana.
Thank
Can
you,
you?
ma'am. Happy to hear your beautiful voice again.
Oh, you're so kind. What time is there right now, if I may ask? What time is it there, Rana?
11:31
In
in the
the
morning.
in the
Oh,
morning.
AM.
Okay, that's
oh,
good. That's not
oh.
that too bad. Okay.
Yeah,
So
Time
Rana,
for a cup of tea.
yeah, ma'am.
so Rana, what is, first of all, can you please translate this in Dari or in Urdu, whichever language you speak? That is the concept development. First thing is you have to choose a theme or a topic. Can you say it in your language, please, so that everyone understands?
Okay, ma'am. اولتر از همه امی باید شما چی را انتخاب کنید درباره او برایتان معلومات داده.
Thank you, Rana.
Wow,
And the
brilliant.
next one.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Rana. Next, please, if you say this thing, like talking about the audience, then the purpose, and how many episodes will you have for your podcast? Thank you. In your language, please.
Okay. دوم این که define audience، شما امی کسانی که میخواین مخاطبتان باشه چی رقم نفرا باشه. مثلا اگر اطفال باشه شما اون پادکاستتان که تهیه میکنین باید به زبان اطفال باشه، یا مثلا پیشتر استاد هم گفتن اگر به خانما مثلا شما میخواین کدام چیز را ارائه کنین باید اما پادکاستتان چون مردان نمیخواین نباشن لباستان باید امو چیزی که میخواین تعریف بکنین باید به حساب زنانه باشه امو پادکاستتان. و امی دیگه اپیزود لند در خیر که برتان گفته که تایمشان بسیار باید دراز نباشه، امو یعنی مشخص باشه که بسیار دور و دراز باشه آدم خسته میشه برشان. مهم امو کدام نقاطی که شما میخواین بیان کنین باید فوکستان به امو نقاط باشه که این طرف و طرف یعنی وقتتان ضایع نشه. That's all, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Rana. Really, we really
Fantastic.
appreciate your
My
Do
pleasure.
not leave.
sorry, Miss Lily.
Stay. Stay, please. We need you.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, it's my pleasure.
Oh, lovely. Thank you so much.
So, girls, as you can see,
Aw.
what Rana has just explained, you need a topic. You have to think of a topic, what you're going to talk about. And remember, when you're planning your topic, you have to keep that in mind. It is not only one 5 minutes episode. You have to plan at least 4 to 5 episodes, okay? On if you're planning while you're planning, you have to think, okay, the first episode, this is what I'm going to talk about. Second episode, this, it will be another topic. So people don't like the same topic, same story or the same subject. So you have to think carefully what is going to be your different topics or in for each episode. And of course, as we said, the length is not going to be more than 5 minutes, maybe max 6 minutes. Okay. We will begin small. And then when you become confident about it, you will definitely extend the time, because this is just the beginning. And once you start having your audience, people coming to listen to your podcast, you can always increase the length of your episodes. Now, the other thing I would say, before I hand the microphone to Miss Lily, your episode, in your episode, you can be the solo presenter. Like here, it says that you can even have guests, okay? Guests can contribute, or you can co-host. Maybe Rana can work with Tamana, or Malika Hussaini can work with Sarah, or Mariam can work with another BB or someone in the class. So you can plan to co-host the podcast. What do you think, Miss Lily? Will it be nice to work with someone? What's your
I think I think maybe that everybody that's in the class could show their hands up if they agree with you. I think that's a really powerful way of collaborating. So if you agree to have working with someone that you feel comfortable with to guest plan is very powerful, because it takes the pressure off you. And other people's ideas are sometimes really good fun. Like Paramita and I, we do the same thing all the time. We work together and collaborate, and it makes you sometimes when you're not feeling 100% confident about something, a really good way to line up with somebody and work with them and bounce off each other, we say in Australia. You bounce off each other and you gain your confidence to present. I really like the other idea of what you've highlighted, Parameter, in planning to have guests on board. And sometimes to get the guests on board might require a little bit of research. It might require, a fair bit of work to find somebody to talk to, or to present their ideas in the podcast that you're creating. And a team always works, I don't know, more efficiently and effectively, bouncing off each other and your ideas. I think it's a powerful thing to do. And also, when you look at it, if you're working collaboratively with someone else, the next dot point under guest planning is that you have a broader contact list, you have a broader potential guest list, if two of you are working together. So maybe this could be a concept, and yeah, someone who could check your facts while you're, providing a script and planning a script. So you've got someone watching over you to guide you and support you, support each other. I think that's a very powerful way of learning, is using your peers with you. Yeah, I hope that made sense.
I really like that idea, Miss Lily, that they can, bounce and like the ideas with each other, and what they can plan is out of 5 episodes. For example, say we are doing about family. Say my topic is family, and Miss Lily's topic, Miss Lily and I decide to work together, and our topic is going to be family. So Miss Lily can do episode 1, I can do episode 2, and Miss Lily can interview family members or people, like a mom. She can interview a sister or a neighbor, So those are like, I and Miss Lily will plan some questions together for the guest, to answer our questions. And we ask the same question to different people and see their perspective. Maybe we can talk about environment, then we can have a set of 5 questions or 3 questions to ask people about environment. If you're doing the family, maybe you can talk to grandmothers in the family, what they think about life. Or even you can do phone interviews. If your grandmother is not close to you, you can have different types of interviews. And you can write down and say, I interviewed my sister or my mother or my grandmother or my neighbor, and these were their answers. It will be more interesting if you have your guest in your podcast. But again, you can have your own ideas. It's not that you have to do what we are saying, but these are only ideas you might consider. Miss Lily, over to you.
Yeah. Just thinking at this point, in the chat, we've got 30 people here tonight, which is in Australia tonight, sorry. I'm just wondering if we can just go back to the very beginning in this yellow circle, the top left-hand circle. I don't think I can show everybody where I'm circling, but to choose a theme. Has anybody got that they can write just a brief idea or something that they might like to think of developing a podcast on? So a theme. It doesn't have to, it is no right or wrong, but I'm just wondering at this point, if we can just backtrack and see if we're hitting, if we're making progress in regards to what people understand as
Yeah, the
considering
topic.
something that they want to talk about as a
Yes.
podcast. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Because
So,
Tamana Shahab, are you here? Tamana has
Yes,
already
yes,
written.
I'm here.
Can you please write your what is your topic? Can you just share it with the class, please? What you have chosen as your topic?
or your
Share
theme.
in the
Yeah.
chat, ma'am.
Pardon? Yeah.
Okay, ma'am.
Hello.
In the chat, share in the chat.
Just to say that the topic you have chosen. It's
I think it would be
theme is
good
a
if
bit
everybody wrote it in the chat.
Yes, everyone, if you have chosen a topic, please write in the chat if you can.
Ma'am,
I'm going to put
not
mine
here
in.
in the chat.
You can write in the
Not
chat.
here. Not sent.
Pardon?
Not sent in the chat.
Yeah.
I
Miss
have.
Lily has written unique animals in my environment and how to preserve them. Thank you, Miss Lily. Now, Nigaran has written resilience or refugee, Afghan women speaking out. Yeah, that can be, you have three topics there. You can choose any of them. That's
Yeah.
very good. Or you can combine them all together. The resilience in refugees, particularly the Afghan women, you can put it together. Come on, girls, we want some
Is
topic.
Tamana, Bibi, Fazana, Fatima, Gulsum, Kubra,
Okay, Bibi has
Latifia. Come
written,
on.
Miss Lily, Bibi
Good.
has written self-introduction. So self-introduction, Bibi, think about it. Are you talking about uh, something like,
Yourself.
yes, about yourself? Yes, that's right. Now I understand. Shukriya has written, Miss My one is about impact of music. That is fantastic. Should I read now? You have it,
Well
your script
done.
already done. Okay. Why not?
Latifa,
Mm,
Maboba, Masa, Malika, Mariam, Panahi, Musal. I apologize if I'm pronouncing incorrectly. Nasima, Naziva. Come on, girls. Rana, Razia. Everybody needs to write. It can't be seen in the chat, okay, but you must try to write some idea of some little tiny thing that you'd like to think about. Sarah, Pashtunya, Serengu, Shokuria Amini. There's a lot of you here. Come on. Samaya Mohammed Madi.
okay,
I apologize if
while we are waiting
I.
for them to write their topic, why don't we ask one of the students to share? Because those who have already written the script, we can go back and also guide them.
Wow.
But
Already.
I'm going to request the mana, and also we have Shukriya Abdul Hassan. Shukriya, you can take the microphone. We will start with Shukriya and then we will listen to Tamana. If that's okay, Tamana. I know you can't write in the chat. That's okay. Sometimes people can't write, but you can take the microphone
Yeah.
and speak. But Shukriya, first, over to you. I can't wait to hear your script because it says music, the impact of music. Yes, please
Ah,
read. Shukriya,
fantastic.
over to you.
Hello, ma'am. Hello, ma'am.
Mhm.
I'm Shukriya.
Hello.
Imagine everyone, it's late at night or maybe day. You're so tired, or your mood is off, or you're unmotivated or hopeless. While laying on your bed, you open your phone and find your favorite song. You play it, and slowly your mood begins to change. Your sadness, stress, or hopeless, giving space to joy and freshness. You get up and start dancing. Has this ever happened to you guys?
Wow. I think what is the best thing you did, you started with a question. You started with a scenario that,
Uh,
lying down in the bed and listening to music and this and that. And then you ask a
uh,
question. Miss Lily, isn't that a wonderful way to begin a podcast? Miss Lily, you're muted.
Sorry. um, I was just like talking away. Sorry. I thought that was absolutely brilliant because I think what you've done is you've connected with what a lot of people will be feeling in their lives sometimes. So it really will engage if you look into your audience, they would relate to many women's experiences. So that is instantly a trigger for a successful podcast. And it's real. And your voice
thank
is
you.
real. Yeah,
Thank,
brilliant.
thank you,
Love it.
ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. For me,
So good. Yeah.
most of
It's
the time. Hello and
oh,
most welcome, everyone. I'm so happy to be here with you. And my podcast is something that touches all of us in our happiest moment or hardest day or in our
uh-huh.
private times. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. All
Yeah.
of this is the magic of music. Should I
Yeah.
continue? No.
Oh, I I think that's brilliant. I think you're well underway, and I think you should leave just being what your ideas are to yourself. But as you go through the infographic, make sure you're using those um, prompts in the different little bubbles that you see on this infographic or this page that Parameter shared. Make sure you're following those because they're really important. There's technical sides, there's guests plan, like how could you involve a guest? How could you involve someone else's opinion um, to support what you're saying is how life can be sometimes.
I,
I think use this definitely to help you and tick them each as you go. Make sure you've covered them. Well done. Brilliant.
I I love the what you're doing, Shukriya. And as Miss Lily said, ticking the boxes. If you really want to do a fantastic podcast, you must tick the boxes. Now, one thing came to my mind while I was listening to your beautiful voice and beautiful information that you're sharing with us all. I was thinking, what if you consider doing some research? you know it is we
Mm,
know the immediately,
absolutely.
yes, like what the scientists
Mm.
say, what the research says. End of the day, when you had a hard or difficult day, you're just lying down in bed and listening to some music, some not like very
I think the ideas are brilliant, and I don't think there's anything wrong with what you're doing. I think
mm,
it's very harmless and very helpful for many people. And there's a few more people in the chat. Self-introduction, Bibi said, impact of music, Shukriya said, Tamana said she can't be seen in the chat. Malika, guest planning. Malika, are you there? Can you talk to us a little bit more about your audience for guest planning, how long your episodes you think might be. Are you there? Can you have a talk to us? Is it Malika
Hello,
Husseini?
teacher.
Have I?
Yes, I'm
Hello,
here.
Malika.
Hello, how are you?
Good. Paramita and I are interested when you say guest planning, what do you mean? How would you do a podcast on guest planning?
Okay, okay, teacher. Mm, planning, guest planning, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, the first time I chose guest,
Mm-hmm.
I chose guest, then sent message or call for guest.
Yes.
And
Okay.
yeah, if guest agree with me, then I can schedule a date and time for guest,
Mm-hmm.
and then prepare some foods and music and candy for guest.
Yes.
Then and
Oh, that's
thanks
fantastic.
for yes, and then yes, then for thanks for guest. Finish.
Yes. Malika, that's really lovely because I think what you do if you plan a podcast on how to guest plan, you're
Yes,
thinking about audiences, you're thinking about your guest, you're thinking about how to make them happy, you're thinking about um, uh, how you outline different events and different parts of that planning and checking in on facts of the guests. So
yes,
I
teacher.
think the podcast, yeah, it's fantastic. Thank you for sharing. What
Okay.
do you think,
Thank you.
Paramita?
Yeah, I
Thank you,
think
Malika.
this is fantastic. I would love to see her planning because planning is
Mm,
important. And girls, when you're planning, Shirengul, we will listen to you in a second. Just as Miss Lily was explaining, that you have the idea. Some of you have even thought about the episodes, what you're going to make. So, what
mm,
we would suggest is just like what you see on the screen, like creating your podcast. Maybe Malika just talked about guest planning. She can write here the concept
mm,
development. She can write here guest planning. And then she can
mm.
define her audiences, maybe mothers or women of age between 20 and 30. They can plan when they're having
Yep.
visitors at home, how they're going to entertain them. So you know your age group. The people maybe between
Mm,
20 and 30 would like to plan their, you know, guest visit. And then the purpose is giving people ideas, mission statement, giving people idea, the options they have or what they can consider. My episode length will be 5 minutes. And, so consider these and plan your podcast. Okay. And
mm,
also, I can see Shakoria has short story. So perhaps
mm,
you will be
mm.
sharing 5 different stories, and who will be the stories for? Maybe the kids or the adults. Think about that, Shakoria. And Mahaboba has
Mm,
talked about a very important topic, that is gender apartheid, women in Afghanistan in 2025. I
mm.
love your topic and I can't wait to see your
Yeah,
plan. And Rana,
fantastic.
yeah, Rana is talking about health and fitness. Fantastic, Rana.
Hmm.
Plan 5 episodes, okay? And is it free to choose any topic? That's the question from Masa. Masa, yes. You
Absolutely.
can
Yeah,
you can create
yeah.
a podcast, 5 episodes on any topic you choose. Okay, you can choose your topic. So try to make it interesting. I'm going to invite Tamana now. Tamana's been waiting.
Mhm.
And also, Shirengal, I'll be with you. We will be asking you to ask your question. What is your question, Shirengal? If we can have it quickly, and then we will move to Tamana. Shirengal, am I saying it correctly? I don't know. Yes, Shirengal. Unmute yourself, please, and speak.
Yes, ma'am.
Mhm. Hello.
Hello to my kind teachers and their classmates. My name is Tamana Shahab. Today, I would
Hello, Tam.
like to talk about an interesting topic, dream homes. People have very different ideas for their dream home, their perfect house or apartment. Some people dream of a simple house in a special place. Others want a large house with every convenience. Is your dream home similar to any of the dream homes below? Mukesh Ambani, a businessman in India, is the winner of the most expensive house in the world. Ambani's, Ambani's dream homes is 27 stories high, so it has room for everything his family needs and wants. Mr. Ambani wants a lot of cars, so the first 6 floors of his house are just for cars. Another floor of the house has a movie theater with seats for 50 people. 2 floors of the house are for a health center with a gym and a swimming pool. Another floor is for guests for the Ambani family. The four, the 4 floors at the top of the building are just for the Ambani family. From there, they have a view of the Arabian Sea. Thank you so much.
Okay. I like what you have done, Tamana. What you have shared, I really like. But you didn't share the second half of your script. That is the most important part of the script, because this, if you stop here, your podcast, that means we are listening to a dream house of a very rich man, how they're having many many rooms and like a movie hall at home or car park, or they can see the Arabian Sea. But the second part of your script is much more important, because do you have the script there, the second part of your script?
Yes, ma'am. Second.
Yeah, read that. Then people will
Okay.
appreciate it, because yeah, I won't spoil it.
Okay.
You read it. Thank you.
Okay. Henry David Thoreau, an American writer, lived from 1870 to 1862. At the age of 28, he built his perfect house. It was a very small house, just 10 feet by 50 feet, 3 m by 4.5 m, and inside there were just 3 chairs, a bed, a table, and a small desk. The location of his house was very important to Turu. He built his house in the woods, close to a small lake. Dikembe Mutombo, a professional basketball player, built a very different type of dream home. Mutombo grew up in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, but he moved to the United States to study. He wanted to be a doctor, but instead he became a famous basketball player. Mutombo's dream home is in the Congo, and and it has beds for 150 people. It has a large emergency room, many exam rooms, and some beautiful gardens. Mutombo didn't build his dream homes for himself, and instead, instead he built it for the people in his native country. Mutombo's dream home is a hospital.
See, what,
Finish.
thank you, Tamana. When you talked about the dream home of Ambani, I couldn't
Mm.
relate to that. Most people can't relate to that because that is like
Mm,
a king's or a monarch's house, okay, a palace. Now, when you're talking about Mutumbu and you say that he didn't build his dream house for himself, but he did it for other people, for people in his community. He built a hospital. And, and that is inspirational. And we think, oh my
mm.
goodness, you don't need a palace to live in. You have to think of others as well. It can be a small house where we can all live, but the bigger picture, and that is something is inspiring. What do you think, Miss Lily?
Oh, I totally agree. And I think, Shirangu, as I said in the chat, your ideas are really well researched about what everyone's vision is, um, to understand and communicate to your audience that a house is a dream, but the dream home is a result of everyone's different values and what they value. So what everyone thinks is important in their life, um, uh, is so different, and that's very powerful. How you've seen that, but the research and the background to what you're saying really helps make a strong point that dreams are different for everybody, and a dream home is different for everybody. Like some people, just to be with their family, even under a tent, is a dream. Doesn't have to be a mansion, or to build a hospital for somebody in their home is important.
Yeah.
So it's very honourable what you have said, and I think it's very powerful. I think you can find also, looking into your research and potential guests, you could have some really good quotes, Sharangle, from different people on what their dreams of a home might be.
Mm,
Um, and that will it will strengthen your point. And it's very honorable.
mm.
I'm very, yeah, it's a beautiful thing that you've identified. Well done.
Yes, that's right, Miss
Mm.
Lily. Thank you so much, Tamana, for sharing
Mm,
your script. So you see, you got lots of ideas from Miss Lily, and that's what you're going to do next. You will be researching and you will be planning your next 4 episodes, what you're going to talk about. And that's the important thing is, while you were sharing your script, I was thinking that
mm,
it is important that uh, we say things that people can relate to. That is also a very important
mm,
to make your podcast
mm,
successful. If you talk about something that we can't
mm,
relate to, people will lose interest. Your listeners will lose interest. But your second story is what I found very appealing, you know and that's that if you stop just sharing the first part of the story, I wouldn't be that I wouldn't have been that impressed. But when I hear the second part, how the doctor becomes the basketball player and thought about the community and shared and planned the hospital, that was something very moving, I found very moving and inspiring. So, Tamana, thank you again for sharing. I'm going to invite
mm.
now.
Thank
Uh,
you so much, Mamja.
Well done.
And
Can I, before you move forward quickly,
yes,
Paramedic
Thank you,
Shukriya
Ma'am
wants to
Lily.
see. My pleasure. It's so nice to hear your ideas. I'm very honored. I'll just keep moving quickly forward. I'm not dismissing anybody, but Shukriya's asked about a WhatsApp private conversation about her podcast. So sometimes this does raise a point, and I quickly want to go into it, Paramita, is that we need to check in that what we're going to talk about in a podcast sometimes is ethically okay. I think that's really important. Like, it's not going to be offensive. It has to have some kind of moral grounding. Don't you agree, Paramed? Not that Shukriya is going to do that,
no,
but
absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely.
I'm just saying it. Oh, I just went, oh, okay. We might need to think about these things. Yeah.
But when you submit your planning, like think of a
Mm,
A4
mm,
paper, okay? Think of an A4 paper and just plan, just like this. I want, if you can take a screenshot of what's on the screen and plan your podcast, and then when you share it with us, we will see that what you're talking about, which is if it is okay or not okay, or we can give you some direction, you take it to,
yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So that's the purpose of our discussion, because you could always, get started, but that's not the point. The point is the process, step by step, what you
Mm,
have to consider very seriously about who's going to be your listener. Say, if you're
mm.
then you have to think about,
Mhm.
yes, any question? Now, Latifa has a brilliant idea. I love your idea, Latifa. She's doing, she's planning to focus on stress in immigration. It's a topic of podcast. I
Mm.
chose now, but I'm not ready for today. That's fine.
عارفة يا شيخ عبد الله مسؤولية.
You need to do
That's
your
fine.
research. Research is very, very
Mm,
important. It's not what you're going to say, but you have to say that this research, we do not have much time today. Like, we are past, 8:30. Miss Lily has plenty other things to do, so we have to close soon. But the PDF that I have shared, it has given, it can give you some ideas about how research is used to create the podcast on gratitude. Now, gratitude is a topic that I have used, uh, but also what science is saying about gratitude, what neuroscience, how you can link the two, neuroscience and gratitude. Similarly, Latifa, you can where here your topic is stress in immigration, so you can do some research and say what the psychologist are saying about stress in immigration. Any sort of strategies you can talk about, when you're under a lot of stress, what are the strategies going to be beneficial? That is something you can, that will make your podcast even more interesting for people who are in those situations. So they'll come to you, they'll return to Latifa to hear the strategies you're going to suggest based on research. Okay? It's not what Latifa is saying, what is science saying, what the psychologists, the experts are saying. You can share that in your podcast. Miss Lily, over to you.
Yes, thank you, teacher. It's my topic, but I'm immigration now in Pakistan for 4 years, and I choose this because I'm immigration. I feel something I want to share, and I research a lot about this, and I prepare for next time, inshallah, with a good slides. I will come, and now I can't talk about this because I'm not ready. I just I can say something.
That's okay. That's okay. The fact is that you found a really fantastic topic that really connects with you. And I think, as Paramita said, if you're passionate and you feel very strongly about it, you can feel it in your heart, you feel like it's something you need to communicate. That's what makes the most successful podcast. So try and be really authentic, be real about what you feel, because in every one of you, all around the world that we're talking to, women and people that are joining us have got the most unique, most brilliant experiences that would, they're worthwhile sharing with the world. So be mindful that what you've got to say is so important. It's so valuable. So I think whether you come with plans, that's okay. It's not a rushed thing. I think it's important that you think about things very carefully. And the more time you take and the care you take to plan these presentations, wow, they're going to have some very powerful ways to communicate to the rest of the world. So be mindful of that, ladies. And I've just said there's some great ideas and concepts that are beginning. And you might have five podcasts that you might want to do. You might have 3, it doesn't matter. But most importantly, it's got to be real, it's got to be original. And sharing your ideas, and more importantly, as Paramita said, your research is a powerful tool. I'm very inspired by everybody's ideas. Yeah. Thank you, Paramita.
Thank you, Miss Lily. That was fantastic. That everyone is sharing their ideas, and those who haven't shared their ideas, and I'm sure they're thinking about their, when
Yeah.
I would suggest, when you're thinking of your topic, what I usually do, I'll list the topics. Say my first idea is I'm going to talk about stress strategies. Second idea is I want to share about stories, short stories with something important message in it. Third topic can be music, in how music helps me to cope with stressful situations. I mean, I'm just giving you some examples. Like, I'll write 5 topics, then I will think about it again, which one I'm passionate about, and then you choose your final topic. But don't just rush, okay? This is the
No.
first idea that has come to my mind, and I'm going to make a podcast about that. No, you have to think deeply and see that, okay, this is something I'm passionate about. It can be football, women's football, or women's game, or anything that you're passionate about. You select, 5 topics, then you consider, okay, which one I would love to research and find out more. Because people, keep that in mind, that it is not what you know, but you have to find out what experts are saying. Okay, in that way you will go deeper in the topic. Okay, not only from, like, on top of my head I think this. No, you have to, and that will make your podcast even more interesting for your listeners. That you will say, okay, uh, this researcher is giving these strategies to cope, or to, do even better. These scientists are saying their advice is this. So when you say something like based on real research, then that is what going to be a successful podcast. Okay, you will see your
Yeah.
listeners are returning back to you to listen to you. So I'm not going to say any more. I think we have said plenty. And another
Yeah.
iPhone is coming. Unfortunately, we can't let people in who are not really
Mm.
writing their names correctly. And so I can't really allow this iPhone person to be in our class. So remember, girls, when you're coming, make sure you're coming with your name. Even if you don't use your
Mm.
surname, make sure you're using your first name, okay? And if you have
Mm.
any question, this is your time to ask the question, because Miss Lily and I are expecting you to do some sort of planning. So I request you to take a screenshot, at least all the yellow, color coded, the yellow part. That is, I'm just, because there are so many mistakes here, I can't even give it to you. I will correct it and make a proper infographic with.
Can I make a suggestion,
Yes, yes,
Paramita?
please do.
Instead of you doing that, I would like to see everybody that does their presentation. The first slide they use is this infographic with the spelling correct, and their ideas go under each dot point. Yeah. So if you
So,
can see
this is horrible.
the,
I
you
don't
know
know
how.
how many
No,
errors.
no, no, no.
Every.
No, this is good because I think everybody needs to see that they can change this. I think, oh, yes, no, I think I can see lots of obvious mistakes.
Yeah.
But as they go through it, make sure they've checked every single word on the infographic. Number one, that's their first step, is spelt correctly. The second step is their concept development. And then they start to unpack their audience, what their script is doing, outlining their episodes, who their guests may be. Yeah, I think part of the assessment will be that you must make the errors correct on this infographic.
That's good. Thank you, Miss Lily.
I think that
I
that's a
was,
good literacy skill.
yeah, and we
Don't you
did
do it, Paramita. The girls can do it.
yeah, and we did. This was
Mm,
exactly
mm,
what was our classes all about on Tuesday,
mm,
because we were
mm,
practicing how to correct the mistakes, and now it's your turn to make the corrections here. Trim
mm,
has double M, audience has
mhm.
double E. So look at it and find
Make
the
make
errors.
it
It's
right,
fun.
ladies. Yep.
It's fun as well.
You're the teacher. You're the teacher. Fix it.
I
Paramita, I
have.
have to go.
Yeah,
I'm
thank you
sorry.
so much. No, no, we are going to close it now. Girls, I have put
Okay.
infographic in the chat. If you can, please download it. As Miss Lily said, that we are going to do the corrections as well. How many mistakes you have found, you can make the list, and we will see who gets the maximum number of mistakes, and that will be interesting, and that person is going to get the best bonus point or something like that. We can do. Make sure you fix the spelling errors first. There are plenty errors. I can't even look at it. Okay, so yeah,
Um, I
recording.
have to go.
Yeah, bye-bye. Thank you.
See you,
Thank you so much.
everybody. I'll see you Tuesday. Work hard, ladies. Get those ideas going and use that infographic. I think some great ideas are happening. Lots of love to you all. Be safe. Bye, Paramedic. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Okay, girls,
Bye.
if you don't have any questions, just download this infographic from the chat, and I will say bye to everyone, and please do the planning. It's not only just take the recorder and record your voice, it's going step by step and planning your podcast. Okay, that is it, what we want to see you doing. Okay.